What's up, nation citizens? Coombsy and Yaremchuk here with a little What Would You Do Wednesday action on the Nation Network YouTube. And this week's question: who should be Edmonton's top priority, Evander Kane or Jesse Puljujarvi? This one will undoubtedly divide the fan base, Coombsy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about this one on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit. It seems to be the topic du jour. Jesse Puljujarvi has become a big fan favorite in Edmonton since he came back from Finland, but Evander Kane's been excellent on his one-year show-me deal that he signed after getting his contract terminated by the San Jose Sharks. I mean, Evander Kane over an 82-game pace is on pace to score 44 goals since signing with the Oilers. So, I mean, it's reasonable to be excited about his production, but the Oilers only have so much cap room next season. Ken Holland obviously had a really big offseason signing guys last year, and he's not going to have that much room this time around. The salary cap's going up by $1 million next year, so the Oilers have about $9 million in cap space to spend. It'll go up to about $13 million when Oscar Klefbom goes on the long-term injured reserve, but that isn't very much to work with because Puljujarvi is a restricted free agent, Kailer Yamamoto is a restricted free agent, Ryan McLeod's a restricted free agent, and the Oilers need to find a goaltender because Mikko Koskinen's an unrestricted free agent. Now, the goaltender thing could be solved internally as Stuart Skinner and Mike Smith could be the tandem, but at this point, I'm not sure if that's exactly what the Oilers want to operate with. So, long story short, there isn't that much money for both Puljujarvi and Kane. So
Yeah.
the Oilers are probably gonna have to pick between one of these two guys.
Yeah, and I think the maybe sexier pick would be to give Evander Kane a nice, juicy contract, make sure he stays in Edmonton. Because you look at that, a 44-goal pace, that's fascinating. But at the same time, look back to his time in San Jose, look back to a couple of other stops he had in his NHL career. They all kind of went well from the jump, and then they deteriorated when Evander Kane sort of had a sense of security. And I think the Oilers need to be cautious not to go super long term and give Evander Kane like a 4, 5, or 6 year contract. If the deal was a 2-year deal at around $3.5, $4 million, then sign me up. But what I'll say is I don't want that Kane contract to come at the expense of a Jesse Puljujarvi contract. I think, if you decide to go the bridge route with Puljujarvi, there's maybe room to bring in both, but I believe the priority should be signing the younger player who will be cheaper, who has more upside.
Yeah, the devil's advocate argument in favor of signing Kane is that Puljujarvi is under control for 2 more seasons until he can hit the open market as an unrestricted free agent. So what you could do hypothetically is prioritize keeping Kane around and then go ahead and put Puljujarvi in a package to acquire a player at a different position of need. Maybe Puljujarvi goes for a very good young goaltender. Maybe he's part of a package for an elite defenseman, say Jacob Chikrin out of Arizona. There's the possibility for that to happen. Whereas with Kane, you obviously can't trade him because he's a UFA at the end of the season. So either they sign him or they let him walk. It's pretty much one or the other. But that being said, the other thing with Kane is that he's 30. So there's reason to assume that his best years are behind him. And, performing really well on a 1-year show me deal with the Oilers right now isn't the same as doing well on a multi-year contract. I think in my mind, the only way the Oilers could reasonably keep Kane around is if it's on, like you said, a short-term deal because, he got traded to San Jose in 2018 from Buffalo at the trade deadline, played really well, scoring 9 goals in 17 games, and then he popped in 4 more goals in 9 games in the playoffs, and they rewarded him with the 7-year deal worth $49 million. And, 3 years into that deal, they're trying to get out of it. There's rumors they want to trade him, and then finally they find a way to void the contract. There was players that were complaining, I don't want this guy coming back because he's a huge distraction in the room. He carries on as though rules don't
Yeah.
apply to him differently than us. So there's a huge distraction there, and the Oilers could find themselves in that exact situation if they give him a long-term contract.
Yeah, so I think we're both in agreement here. We would probably be okay with Evander Kane coming back if the contract is right, and as long as it doesn't, hinder them from signing guys like Kailer Yamamoto and Jesse Puljujarvi, who are younger, who are under team control, and who maybe have some upside here in the next few years.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Oilers have drafted and developed these guys. They're part of their culture. They're part of the solution. I think the key is to show loyalty to those who have been around longer. Evander Kane was a nice pickup for Ken Holland this year. He made a good find and he made the team better. He's going to be, in my mind, a key contributor to get them into the playoffs. But I think what you do there is say, thanks, Evander, for the good work. Good luck in your next destination. And you focus on your younger guys. Yamamoto and Puljujarvi are the future. Those are the guys you drafted and developed. They're comfortable in the room. That's who you prioritize.
Let us know your take. Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well while you're here on the Nation Network YouTube. And Coombsy and I will be back next Wednesday with another hard-hitting question.
That's right.